What's up guys, it's your boy Damnboy, back with another video. Today we're gonna talk about my interface. I want to make this video so I can link it in every coming videos so you all have your answers there. So you can just go to this video, check out my UI if you have questions or if you want to find an add-on or a Weakaura that I have. So I want to talk about what add-ons I have, what Weakauras I have, and why I have them. So basically I'm 29 years old, soon a boomer. But so first of all, I have this consumables for raid. It is pretty smart to have, you know, before you go to raid you have this checklist and you can actually customize it yourself. That way I'm sure I don't forget any consumables to maximize my DPS and get those sweet parses. Next I have a Weakaura to remember to actually use these consumables in raids. It's this one. It shows me when I don't have sharpening stones, dense or elemental on my weapons. It tells me when I don't have food buff. It tells me when I don't have the Juju plus 30 strength buff, Winterfall Firewater, and Mongoose Elixir. And as you pop the buffs, the Weakaura of course disappears icon by icon as you pop the buffs. The next thing we're gonna look at is called Item Rack. It is my trinkets menu down here to the left. If you have Item Rack already, you just go to your character sheet and you alt click the item slot you want dragged out in the UI, and from here you can customize it to auto cube stuff. Like, so for instance, when I have Diamond Flask on cooldown, it's automatically gonna swap my second slot to Black Hand's Breath. And when Diamond Flask is less than 30 seconds away from being ready again, it will swap it back again. This is very useful also, so you don't have to go into your bags and find the trinket. You can just find it down there, quick and easy. Saves your time and is very convenient. Item Rack also lets you customize, make sets and stuff. So up here top right by the minimap, I have an icon for my DPS set. But you can make all the sets you want, save them, like Fire Rest gear, Fire Maw, tank gear, PP gear, and all that stuff. So in general, a very convenient add-on to have. The next add-on is called Addy Bags, and it is basically just a add-on that helps you have a great overview of your bags. It splits your items up into recent items, explosives, trade goods, armor, jewelry, junk, consumables, weapons, and miscellaneous, and it just helps me keep a track of where the stuff is in my bag so I can quickly get it if I haven't used the Item Rack for it, you know. Before we get into the combat Weakauras and add-ons, my UI is called Sea Pearl. As you see here on the top left, you can make the UI style the way you want it with the groups and stuff. You can make the icons bigger or smaller, whatever you like. You can have the buffs up there as well and stuff like that. I don't do that, I don't need it. I'm a warrior, I don't buff people except battle shots, so it doesn't really matter for me. But the thing I like though, underneath you have casting monitor. This you can customize as well. It's included in the UI Sea Pearl, and it tells me how many healers do I have, who are they healing, and the most important part of this is who has high mana, who has low mana, and what is the average percentage of mana in the raid. And I primarily use this when I'm doing CG pugs, so I know when to pull. When I do my MC pug as well, I can keep up and have a good overview of the raid. This add-on is of course also my player's icon, as you can see in the middle of the screen, and my target and target. You can customize all this as well, and if you don't want to show your buffs down here at the bottom of the screen, you can put them up to the right by the minimap as you're used to as well. Again, it's all customizable. Moving on to the in combat Weakauras I use. So first of all, the most important one, which I have been forgetting a little bit till a couple of weeks ago, Sandow Armor is of course one of the most important ones, especially when doing raids. So, and to increase your DPS, of course. So the first one we have here is the Sandow Armor. This Weakaura shows all the time if my current target does not have 5 Sandow Armors. As you can see, it builds up when you do Sandow Armor. And when you have 5 on the target, it will disappear. Next up, we of course have threat meters. This first one over here to the right is called Threat Classic 2. And it's of course very important so you don't get aggro from the tank. In this siege run, I'm actually tanking in Berserker stance most of the time. I do have full rank 14 gear, so I'm pretty tanky, no problem. But this is one of the most important add-ons to have. It's a must-have basically. And for this add-on to work, everybody in the raid needs to have it for it to be precise though. Next we have damage meters and healing meters. They are not as important, but if you are competitive, they are definitely important as well. I love them at least. It is. You do parsers to compete, right? So it's a must-have as well, in my opinion, for any parser, min-maxer. The next Weakaura we have is this little bad boy on top of the item rack, trinkets and headpiece. This one tells you the same as the big Sunder Weakaura we showed you before. It tells you first of all if there are 5 Sunders on it. Next it tells you if Annihilator is up and how many stacks. It tells you Fury Fire if that's up. Curse of Recklessness, Curse of the Elements, and Curse of Shadow. As you can see in this raid, we only have Curse of Shadow up and 5 Sunders. This add-on Weakaura is helpful as well. If you're raid leading, you can tell the appropriate people to do their debuffs, so we can maximize our DPS output on the boss. The next Weakaura we have is the one in the middle. This has all my abilities, my personal cooldowns. So it has Bloodthirst, Heroic Strike, Whirlwind, Hamstring. I used this when I was PvPing. I don't use it much anymore. It has Death Wish, Battle Shout, Demo Shout, Pummel, Intercept, Berserker Rage, and Blood Rage. And it just shows me what the cooldown is on the ability, if it has a cooldown, is it applied, and it also tells me my buffs. As you can see above the rage bar and swing timer, it tells me when I have flurry. It also tells me when my recklessness is on, my death wish is on, and you can even add diamond flask if you would like that, and mighty rage potion as well. Personally, I just like this Weakaura because it helps me. It's easier to find your, see your cooldowns and your abilities than looking down at the small icons at the bottom. And also, if you swap spec, just do /reload in game, and it will change, and it will fit to your arm spec. It's just gonna change the abilities in the Weakaura. And same goes for protection. It's gonna show you different abilities for that. And it also changes when you swap stance as well. So when you go to a defensive stance, it will show you shield block and shield bash, disarm, and the like. It is very convenient and I like it a lot. Last but not least, the Weakaura also tells you when your battle shout is not up. It shows you, as you can see, on top of the Sandow Armor thing. Again, you can customize Weakauras as much as you want. You can put the icons and all that stuff wherever you want to. This is a very important Weakaura since Battle Shout is a huge DPS increase to you and your group. So remembering doing that and having 100% uptime on Battle Shout is crucial for you and your teammates and your group. The last Weakaura I want to talk about is called Buff Cap Tracker, as you can see here in the top right to the left of the minimap. Currently I have 20 out of 32 buffs. 32 is the max buff cap. If you go above this, it will start removing buffs from you. And when you go to the buff cap tracker, it will tell you which buff is next up for removal. As you can see, Inspiration removed, Renew removed in the middle of the screen. What this Weakaura also does, it removes these buffs. Since I'm a DPS normally, it removes Inspiration, it removes Rejuvenation, Power Word Shield. All these useless buffs that you get sometimes in raids, it just removes them straight away, so you can make sure your world buffs and all your great damage increase buffs does not go away. And as for all Weakauras, you can customize this in the option of the Weakaura. You can go into the Weakaura and you can decide which buffs it should blacklist and remove instantly and so forth. So it all depends on your level of min-maxing and hardcoreness, I guess, and what kind of guild you're in. The last Weakaura I use this mostly for PvP, but it has some PvE purposes as well. It is a Weakaura that tells you what kind of CC you have on you and for how long you're CC'd. For instance, with this one on her car, you're charmed, and it tells me when will I be out of this CC. This works for all CCs, including sheep, stuns, blind, all that stuff. And it's just easier to see it in the middle of the screen when it happens, instead of having to go down and look on your player bar under your debuffs. Anyway, I forgot to mention one add-on, Deadly Boss Mods. It is pretty obvious, but Deadly Boss Mods, what it does is basically it tells you, as you can see on the right side, when the specific boss is gonna do, for instance, Blood Siphon. It also tells you a record victory, when is the boss gonna do this ability again, and it announces stuff like like the corrupted blood on her car, you need to move away from others. Anyway, I think that concludes it for this guide for my add-ons and Weakauras. I did only mention the ones that I felt was needed for you to prepare for raids and have a good overview when you're in raids and to remember your consumables and all that stuff. So if you feel like I forgot something, feel free to write it in the comment down below, and I will help you out if I forgot to mention it in the description as well. I will be putting all my Weakauras that I mentioned in the description down below. Same goes for the add-ons I mentioned. So I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to throw me a comment, a like, and a sub down below. It would be greatly appreciated. It definitely helps me keep on going with this YouTube thing. I also stream on Twitch 3 to 4 times a week. Feel free to check me out there as well. My main focus is to try and get those 99 parses, and just hopefully someday I'll be top 100 on parses in a raid. So far I'm currently only 850, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys, and once again feel free to sub down below. Remember to click that bell notification. Damn boys out for now. I hope you all have a damn great time till we see each other again in the next video.